Hello and welcome to Total IELTS. Peter here, and in today's lesson I'll be looking at IELTS Writing Task 2, Advantages and Disadvantages Question Type. I'll be looking at the task requirements, the format and structure for your answer, and how to plan and write a high-scoring answer. Advantages and disadvantages is a very common, indeed a classic question type, and it's quite popular with students, and the reasons for this I will discuss later. Here's an example task. Many elderly people are no longer being looked after by their families. Rather, they are living in nursing homes. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this trend? For the task requirements, this is a straightforward discussion of the pros and cons of the statement. In the instruction, you are not asked for your opinion or position, so this is not needed. This should be a straightforward 4-paragraph answer. Number 1, your introduction, including your paraphrase of the statement and the thesis. Paragraph 2, the advantages, and 1 or 2 advantages is enough, both with supporting details. In paragraph 3, the disadvantages, again 1 or 2 is enough with supporting details. And finish with your conclusion, where you restate and paraphrase the main advantages and disadvantages. So before you start writing your answer, take time to make a plan. As with all writing task 2, this is the most important step. Remember, you do have time. 40 minutes is a lot of time, and it will really pay off if you make a good plan. First of all, analyze the question. And here the statement says, the elderly no longer looked after by families living nursing homes. After you've analyzed the question, write your introduction and begin with a paraphrase of the statement. So a quick reminder of how to do this is use of synonyms, or change the form of the word, for example from verb to noun, or use different grammatical structures, but keeping the same meaning. Then the thesis statement, and for this essay type, advantages and disadvantages, it's a simple statement of intent. It's what you're gonna do in this essay. For example, you can say this essay will analyze the positive and negative aspects of this trend. In your thesis statement, as I said before, no opinion is necessary. It's not asked for in the instructions. It's also not necessary to state the main advantage or disadvantage in your thesis statement, because you will do this in your body paragraphs and expand upon them. After you've written your introduction, then take 5 minutes to plan your body paragraphs. When you do so, list a maximum of 2 advantages and disadvantages. And when you do so, ask yourself, can you give supporting details for these? Make a list of the main reasons and also make a list in brief note form of the supporting details, using your knowledge, experience, and giving examples. Here, for example, an advantage could be medical care, because elderly people have more health problems and these institutions have qualified medical staff. Another advantage could be friendship, because people of the same age and interests live there. A disadvantage could be feelings of isolation from the family, and this in turn would cause negative emotions. Another disadvantage could be the cost or expense. For example, lower salary families can't afford private institutions. Then write your body paragraphs and always begin with the topic sentence. For this task type, you can introduce the main advantage with a phrase like "on a positive note," and the disadvantage, "on the other hand, the primary drawback is." When it comes to writing your body paragraphs, you should include supporting details for each reason. And the instruction for task 2 always says, use your knowledge, experience, and give examples. And finally, it's time to write your conclusion. And in this, restate the main advantage and disadvantage from your body paragraphs. When you do so, introduce them and paraphrase them. For example, you can say, in conclusion, the major positive for, and on the other hand, the primary downside is. In your conclusion, don't give any new reasons or information, no new advantages or disadvantages. Also, do not include supporting details from your previous body paragraphs. And as I said before, no opinion or position needed. And in summary, advantages and disadvantages task type is a popular discussion task. One of the reasons for this is because it's a very straightforward answer. It's not complicated and doesn't need overthinking. It's straight discussion of the advantages and disadvantages. The format should be simple 4 paragraphs. Introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Always plan your answer, especially your body paragraphs. Make a list of the main positives and negatives and include brief in note form supporting details, up to a maximum of 2. In your conclusion, restate the main advantages and disadvantages, introduce them and paraphrase them. And remember, above all, this is a discussion task. No opinion or position is needed. Now, for a full sample answer of the example we used here today, I've included the link in the description below.